I never imagined my life could spiral into such chaos. My marriage to Emily had seemed perfect. We had been together for over a decade, built a home, and raised a child together. From the outside, everything looked stable and happy. But over the past months, subtle signs, late nights, secretive phone calls, and vague explanations had begun to make me uneasy. Deep down, I feared the worst. Then one day, the truth hit me like a sledgehammer. I discovered that Emily had been cheating, and the worst part? Her affair was with my boss. The shock was unbearable. The woman I had trusted and loved, and the man I had respected professionally, had betrayed me in the most audacious and painful way possible. For a moment, I was paralyzed by disbelief and rage, but then a cold clarity took over. I knew exactly what I had to do. I needed nuclear revenge. I started by documenting everything. I gathered messages, emails, photos, and evidence of the affair. Every detail mattered: the dates, the meetings, the communications, and even the attempts to cover up their betrayal. I needed irrefutable proof, both for legal action and to ensure they could not manipulate or deny the facts. Once I had everything, I filed for divorce. Custody arrangements for our child were prioritized to ensure stability and emotional security. Financial settlements were calculated to reflect not only the legal requirements, but also the emotional and practical consequences of Emily's betrayal. She had gambled with trust, family, and integrity, and she lost completely. But my revenge didn't stop at divorce. I knew that her affair with my boss had consequences that extended beyond our marriage. I exposed the affair professionally. I shared the evidence discreetly with HR, colleagues, and the appropriate authorities. The shock was immediate. My boss, who had assumed he could act with impunity, faced professional scrutiny and potential career-ending consequences. The audacity of their betrayal backfired spectacularly. Meanwhile, I removed Emily entirely from my life. I ghosted her, moved out with our child, and stopped all forms of communication. By disappearing, I reclaimed control and dignity, leaving her to confront the fallout of her actions alone. The absence itself became a punishment. She had no opportunity to manipulate, negotiate, or plead her way back into my life. In the weeks that followed, I focused on rebuilding stability for myself and my child. Routine, emotional security, and support from friends became my priorities. Emily, meanwhile, faced the full weight of her choices. Her betrayal had destroyed her credibility, reputation, and influence in my life. The exposure of her affair, combined with legal consequences and professional fallout for her lover, ensured that justice was served in a way she could never reverse. Looking back, I realized that true revenge isn't about dramatic confrontations or public humiliation. It's about strategy, timing, and reclaiming control. By documenting the affair, filing for divorce, exposing her lover professionally, and removing her entirely from my life, I ensured that the consequences were swift, undeniable, and permanent. Emily had assumed she could cheat with my boss without repercussions. She was wrong. The choices she made reshaped our lives, and through deliberate, calculated action, I reclaimed dignity, control, and the ability to rebuild a future free from deception. In the end, this story is one of betrayal, strategic revenge, and personal empowerment. A wife and her audacious lover believed they could act without consequences, but evidence, legal action, and professional exposure ensured accountability. Emily and my boss gambled with trust and lost. The lesson was clear: betrayal has consequences, and some actions cannot be forgiven or forgotten.